Hello everyone and welcome to my mod development environment. So I've got a something I wanted to show off here just to kind of show what I've been doing and possibly get some feedback on it. One thing in particular that is missing is a name. So let me explain what I'm doing first. So for Minecraft 1.13, I'm thinking that I'm going to do a rewrite of Silence Gems, but not only that, I'm going to move the tool system into its own mod. Now, I think this will be good because it will separate out the tool system, so there's a basic solid tool system that you could add into a mod pack and not have all the other crazy stuff that Gems adds if you don't want it. So this is, I'm also going to be looking through like all the code of Gems, seeing what I might be able to change, if there's anything that I could possibly remove. I don't think there are many candidates for removal at this point, so don't freak out about that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into how I can kind of streamline some things. But that's a little ways off in the future. I think 1.13 is coming soon. They did a pre-release like a week ago, I think. I'm not sure. So, who knows? Could be a few more weeks still, but I've been working on this for a while because I knew it would take some time. So, for now, I don't have an official name for the mod. That's kind of what I was hoping for some feedback on. Right now, its internal name is just Tool Core, and well, it displays in the tooltip as Experimental Tool Mod, but the mod ID is Tool Core. I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see my finger. I don't know why. But let me just show what the mod is capable of doing. I'm changing some things with the tool crafting system, as you may be able to see here. So first thing of note is that we've got these tool heads, and these are used for crafting the tools now. You craft the head, and then you craft those with some appropriate materials, usually like a pair of rods, like 2 sticks, 2 iron rods, something like that. To craft the tool heads, we've got these blueprints here. So the blueprints tell you how many materials they need. So for a sword, we're going to need 2 separate pieces, and it also shows the recipe for crafting the actual tool. So you could see it requires 1 of sword blade and crossguard, which is a single item, and 1 tool rod, such as a stick. And you can see the others pretty much follow the same conventions: 1 tool head and usually 2 tool rods. If we get to the bow, you can see it requires 3 bowstring parts as well. So that's not necessarily going to be just string. There's actually a bowstring part now, or material. They're called parts internally. Material would probably be a better word. So let's show the crafting process a little bit. So I've got this block here. It doesn't have a texture yet, as you can see. It's kind of got a basic model, kind of a little outline of what I want. So this is like a slightly more sophisticated crafting table. It's got a normal crafting grid. Anything you can craft, any vanilla crafting table, you can craft here. But it's got a couple other little features. One, it's got some extra storage slots on the side. Currently it's just a 3x6. I've got it set so that I can easily change that. Let me actually show you. I haven't decided on a name for this yet either. I'm calling it Crafting Station for now. And might take me a minute to find the code I'm looking for. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know, I could change that to 3x9. Well, with the way it's coded, it's always going to be 3 wide. And I actually need to close that and reopen it to get the items to realign. But you can see I've got a 3x9 inventory here now. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to modify that. Probably have some kind of upgrade you can apply to it, or maybe like an upgraded version of the block. I'm not sure yet. So let's go ahead and craft something. Could do the sword. I'll show something else first. Got the axe blueprint right here. So same as in Silence Gems, you can mix different materials together. Currently I can only use some vanilla materials plus flint and emerald. So, I don't know, you could put in 3 emeralds, and that makes an all-emerald axe head. And this is another feature of the table. It displays the tooltip over here, and it's automatically got the stats expanded. Normally you would have to hold control for that, but this takes care of that step for you. And this will show the tooltip for any item. So if I were to do that, I've got these emerald shards I'm adding, it's displaying the tooltip for that as well. So let's take a look at something a little bit more advanced here, and let's replace one of the emeralds with a diamond. So you can see it still looks like the emerald version of the texture, but it's modified the stats a little bit, and you can see there's this synergy value which has gone up to 112%. So it's basically indicating how well the parts are mixing together. There's a couple of factors that go into deciding this. One is there's a rarity stat to all the materials. This may be hidden in the final version, but you can see on the diamond it is 40, so the third blue one. On the emerald is 35. Those are pretty close, so they're mixing together fairly well. There's also a hidden tier number, which for both of these I believe is 3, so again, the greater the difference, the more it would reduce that value. So since the differences are low, they're mixing together fairly well, and that is increasing the stats overall. So that's pretty similar to a system that was in the crafting before, but just the execution's a little bit different. Something else that has really changed, though, is that the order of the parts now matters. So beyond changing the texture, putting the diamond first, well, it changes the texture, like I said, but it actually has quite a different impact on the stats. The durability is quite a bit higher than it was before, or, well, just a little bit higher. Harvest speed went down a little bit. It's not making a big difference between diamond and emerald because there's not huge differences between the numbers to begin with. But if we were to, I've actually got this registered as a debug part with some pretty crazy stats on it. So we can kind of see that the mixing coming into play here if I use this instead. So if I put that in last, so this has a very low durability, high harvest speed, and an end product with it in last, it doesn't really seem to be having much of an effect aside from lowering the durability quite a bit. Now, if I were to move this into the second position, harvest speed's gone up, durability has changed, it's gone down a little bit more. Now, if I put this one first, you can see there's a huge difference there. Harvest speed has shot up quite a bit, but still much lower than the base material. And the durability has gone down to almost nothing. So this should fix some exploits that could be done with the parts with crazier stats before. You basically have to compromise, pick something that you want, and find the right order to get the output you're looking for. No way to have both the crazy harvest speed and a high durability at the same time for this. But that's a more extreme example. So let's go ahead and just craft something here. Guess we could do that. Now with the axe head, again, you can look at the blueprint. It says we need 2 tool rods, so could use 2 wooden sticks. They still have to be the same. Can't mix them. Or I could switch to, say I've got some iron ones here, and this is a shapeless recipe now, so it doesn't matter where you put them in. And we can see the results of our output here without even having to hover over it. So I'm happy with the changes to this crafting system. I think this It should be a lot easier for people to pick up on, since it's more similar to some existing mods, and it also allows for a bit more flexibility in the recipes, because you're not limited to just 9 slots for crafting the entire tool. And one thing we can do with that is we actually have this hammer blueprint, which requires 8 materials, so you have to use up all 9 slots of the crafting grid to craft a hammer. So something like that for stone hammerhead, and then that requires 2 tool rods. So the hammer is a new tool. It does pretty much what you would expect. Again, trying to make this a bit more friendly to people who have never used the mod before, so wow, that is quite slow. But the rendering for the system is now much better. You can see every block being broken. They're all highlighted. I think it's a big improvement overall. So as another example, we could take a look at bows. Just grab one of those at random. It requires 1 rod and 3 bowstring. So currently the only one that's available is just regular string. And that's our output. Gold is not very durable, of course. Range speed 1.4, range damage 2. 2 is basically vanilla, and 1.4 is, I think 1 is vanilla. I don't know, these values have changed in this mod. But yeah, that's a pretty fast bow. Of course, everything's animated properly. And I'll just get rid of that. Another new tool class is Pneumatic. This is going to be replacing hose. Again, it's what you would expect. It's a hoe, it's a shovel, it's an axe, but it's not as good as at being a shovel as a shovel or at being an axe as an axe. It's a little bit slower. But it does actually have a little bit more durability. So you can see the iron would normally be 250 durability, this is 313. So that can mine dirt relatively well, can also till dirt, and you can chop wood with it. And I guess last I could show swords. This took me a little while to figure out how exactly I wanted to do it. I kind of wanted to have the guard of the swords be a separate part, but it would also have been difficult to craft them separately. There would have been some disadvantages to that, so you craft the blade and the crossguard together as a single component. So you can mix these together, and I've not added the emerald texture. No, I haven't. Okay. So, I don't know, gold as an example. So first part determines the blade, and the second part determines the guard. So I could swap those around, and that changes the appearance and the stats. I think that's about all there is to say about this. Still got the tipped upgrades from Silence Gems, so you can, for example, put diamond tips on something to upgrade it to a diamond harvest level. That system is pretty much the same. I've just tweaked some of the stats on it a little bit and modified the textures. Okay, so I had to stop recording there for just a minute. Shouldn't have any bad effect on the audio, but who knows. So one last thing to show is that you're going to be able to customize materials in the next version, and this system is still kind of in the works, but I'm using JSON files for this, so nope. Too many files. But you can change the stats of all the materials. I'm not going to go into any details of this because this is still a work in progress, but the ideal is you'll be able to modify any existing material or potentially even add completely new ones with this system. And similarly, tool classes are going to have their own files which you can use to modify their properties. Okay, and I'm going to cut this here. I don't really have a lot of time to work with right now. I've got an exam that I'm preparing for. So thank you for watching. If you have any suggestion for the name of the new mod, let me know. And I'll see you next time.